morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, August 1st, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. The previous session put in a 200+% of ADR day, about 250%, averaging 50 points per day at that point. Yesterday was 111 points, and a big time failed new high. Went briefly outside day, almost closed outside day. Massive rejection here, taking the FOMC key level offered at 64.19 quarter, and yesterday officially becoming a rejection day, a day one rejection day after all of this uptrending price action. This is something we talked about for a while now. We had capitulation day, day one entry, and then on any retest here off S3 for a move all the way back up. And initially, again, we were just looking for price to come into this zone right here. But with the YM breaking to the upside, we upward revised our targets here. And now at R3, we mentioned profit taking has to be a priority. Profit taking has to be a priority in that zone because we are 3 standard deviations overvalued. Look how many we got in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 sell signals here at the R3 standard deviation. On the PivotBoss bands, that's 3 standard deviations above value. That right there showing a heaviness to the market. And of course, anytime you get a day one rejection, increased volatility here, that's telling you that the next 2 to 3 weeks could come with increased volatility, higher price ranges, and that usually comes with a pullback of some nature. Again, while this could be a day one rejection, is not quite as strong as some of the ones we've had in the past that have really triggered some weakness. So does this one get a retest quickly at some point? For example, do we pull back, come back up here, test the high, and then fall? We don't necessarily have to just get some pullback right away, but if we did get a mature pullback here, do we get back to the FOMC key level from June down below? That one right here would be about 60.65 or 60.60. That could be in play where we drop into that level, fill that FOMC key level, and then perhaps bounce back up and fill the newly minted 64.19 quarters. That could be a path forward up ahead if we have ourselves a bit of an August pullback. Remember, as I've mentioned before, the August pullback, seasonally speaking, can provide a great buying opportunity for an end-of-year rally. We'll see if we get something of that magnitude this time around. Looking at the NQ, down about 1% right now. This one also seeing a day one rejection in the previous session. Again, that day right there we had about 240 points of average range. This thing printed 550 points, so about 200% of ADR, or almost there. Big time failed new high, outside day down, and today extending it to the downside a bit right now as well. So a big time day one rejection. Look at that volatility. That volatility right there, not seen in a while here, at least of that magnitude. You can go back to about right there, and this is the last times we were seeing that volatility, which was right around Fed Day. That was the Friday after Fed Day. Right there, this was the Thursday after Fed Day, so it's taken 6 weeks for us to get that volatility back, Fed-related volatility. If you go back again, right here, that's post-Fed volatility as well, as the Fed came out here and you started to see some of that. So again, we're still in an uptrending market. We still haven't failed. We still haven't broken down. But an increase of volatility will at least suggest that we are going to get bigger, higher price ranges here short term, and that could come with some counter trend price action. How deep do we go? Again, we'll see. Right now, again, we could still pull back and then come up here, retest the highs, and then maybe fall if something bigger happens. We may just develop a shorter term key range, and that could get us going for an end of year rally as well. This market remains within a highly bullish trend, so it doesn't necessarily have to sell off deeply, but this strong high doesn't necessarily mean it has to go down. It just means it stopped going up for now. That could mean sideways, that could mean a retest here and then drop. So there could be many ways, but what this is doing is just saying, okay, this is a short-term top for now at the very least, and we'll see how we play out from there. All right, looking at let's look at crude oil here. Crude right now trading about break even on the day, $1.09 of range, but has been on an upswing lately. This upswing, that day right there, proved otherwise. On a failure after bullish days, this thing was able to stitch together multiple days of strength and then closed above 70. Closed above 70. That's been a big time level here of resistance. 64, a big time area of support, and we've been seeing this thing just basically trade in that range right here for a while. So that compression here could breed the next round of movement. We're seeing some strength here. If we can push outside of that 70, it opens up some strength into 74 and up to 76 and 78. Now, any rally that happens here, even into August and September, likely is met with some end of year selling pressure. So any rally that happens here could be a great opportunity to sell it in the fall, somewhere around October. But right now, got to keep an eye on 70. If we can push through there, it opens some things up. Failure through 68, and we're back down within the range. Looking at gold futures right now, this one's up 1% right now. A lot of movement for gold. A lot of volatility for gold lately, but it's staying near the middle of the range, right at the HVN there. Perfect D-shaped profile right there, happily trading around value, while other metals are getting crushed here. This one remains a store of value in a big way. It has increased in value tremendously over the last couple of years, and it is building the next massive compression here for a huge breakout move. That's a 500-point back end. When we're ready, we may be making a move here somewhere north of 35, 36, 37, and into 3,900 on a breakout. Even if it's 34.50 here, 39.50 could be that target down the road. So this is huge. Now, when do we break out? We will see. But there's enough juice here to start getting going sooner than later. Do we need one last shakeout before we rally? We'll see. Like I said, if this thing does drop surprisingly like it did back here, bulls will be looking eagerly to pick it back up off 31.50 to return it not only back up to the top of the range, but also into that 38, 3,900 zone up above. Looking at the YM, this one right now down about 0.7%. The YM here reacting off the lows after NFP. NFP coming out here super shy of estimates here. It looks like NFP coming in at 73,000 jobs versus 106,000 estimate. Last month downward revised to 14K from a 147K print last month. So again, big time reaction initially, now working its way off the lows. Look at this right here. This is August, and we are testing the previous month's low on the first trading day while we've been in a very bullish trend. This is almost a great opportunity to buy it right now if a strong rejection develops down here. I would say intraday, a retest of 43,950 could provide a bounce that takes us a bit higher. 44,150, that's a 200-point move. 44,200, maybe a bit beyond. So this is starting to look in a way where we may be able to see a little bit of a push up. The other thing here, the YM, different style rejection day than the others. It was a high range day, but it's been pulling back off the highs. The highs were back here. Is this kind of a short-term expanding range? Do we slingshot back up, find another rejection, slingshot back down? As we build in here, we will see again how this plays out today. Watch 43,950 intraday. Looking at Bitcoin, down 1% right now. Down 1% at the moment. But again, like the YM right now, look at this test here. That's the test at the previous month's midpoint. You're seeing a little reaction, a lower low failure intraday even. Can it step on that neckline and just get ourselves another rotation right back up? Does it take us through those highs up ahead? Again, this market building significant energy right now. I keep saying at least 20,000 points of energy. And to get a failed new low, do we start to slingshot up for a 20,000 point breakout move to the upside? So keeping an eye on this side of the range. Can it finish higher today? Can it finish above 117 or more? That could be significant. All right, looking at the ETH chart right now, Ether futures down nearly 2%, but also looking similar to some of the others. It's already pulled back modestly from the highs. Didn't quite get our 4,000 to 4,200 level yet. But is this pullback or the early portion of the month going to allow for a bit of a squeeze higher? Can we get into 4,000 to 4,200? Can we get beyond that level? This market being pumped in a big way. It's stalling at the moment modestly here, but this thing doesn't rally nearly 300% from the lows and not get pumped here, right? Something's up with ETH. We've been talking about it in our trading room. This one could be ready for the big time here. If it can get through 4,200, you're going to unlock some massive upside. You can see I got key levels ready to go. Ready to go. 46, 42, 58. When are we headed for those levels? Watching right now to see how this plays out near 4,000. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the last trading day of the week, but the first trading day of August. Do me a favor, please give me a big like here on the video. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the trading room. Links in the description below. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you soon.